Hey guys, this is Gloria. I am back to share with you guys some more of my mailable cards. I created these tonight and I just wanted to share these with you and also share with you guys a quick little tutorial on how I made them. This one is not completely flat. As you can see, it has that bow on the front. However, it's not that much dimension to it. I just thought that would look really cute. But this one is completely flat and completely mailable with a regular stamp, and it has a digital bow on the front as well as some digital papers that I have in my library. I also did a little digital stamp on the back with my name, and I thought that came out super duper cute. So if you want to know how I made these cards, just stick around and I'll take you into the Silhouette online software and just share with you guys how to make this particular card. Alright guys. Hey guys, this is Gloria. So I am back to share with you guys how I created this card on my Silhouette program. I have a Silhouette Cameo, and regardless of which Silhouette you have, Silhouette machine you have, you can use the same program. I have the designer edition. I'm not sure if that makes any difference or not, but in any event, I'll show you guys how to make this flat mailable card. It's very easy and it is time consuming, but once you get the basic concept down, you can actually design a card and then save it to your library, and then you're able to come back and do a print and cut whenever whenever you need that particular card. So I'm just going to start off with a new what do you call it, drawing. So this is my new drawing here, and right now I have the page design set at 8.5 by 11, and I have it at portrait. Depending on how you like to orientate your paper, you can change that right over here, portrait or landscape. But right now I have it as portrait. My cutting mat is going to stay the same as 12 by 12. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my registration marks. So I just click right up here where it says open the registration marks. I'm going to click where it says style, and I'm going to turn on the Cameo portrait registration marks. So those are turned on. Um, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show my print and cut borders. So what I did was I just clicked the little icon that's right next to the registration icon, and it says open the design page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click show print border, and I'm also going to click show cut border. And I'm not sure if you guys seen both of those show up, but the cut border is in red and the print border is in black. So anything that prints outside those lines will not show up, or anything that you put outside those lines won't show up. Anything that you put outside of this red cut line will not be cut by your Cameo. Most cards, though, if you do just a regular card, a A2 card or whatever, you can probably cut it by hand because it's just going to be a rectangle. But in this case, I just put the markings on there so that I'm able to see where my boundaries lie. So now I'm going to go into my library and I'm going to pick a card shape that I like. And for that particular card, that was a slider card by Lori Whitlock, and it's this card right here. So I'm just going to double click on that, and it brought that particular card onto my mat. So I'm just going to move it over because I don't need all the pieces, because I just like the shape of this card. I don't need all of this stuff here, especially like this inner part here and this pinwheel. So all I have to do is go up to Object, and I'm going to go Ungroup, and it's going to ungroup all my parts. And then these inner parts for the slider, I'm just going to delete them because I don't need them. So I'm going to delete all of that. So those I don't need. I'm just going to use these two right here. So the next thing that I would do is I would click on my main Okay, sorry guys. So what you would do is after you selected those three things to delete, you would take your main image, and what I do is I like to work in the layers that are going to appear on the card. So one thing that you would have to do is you would have to decide on pretty much how you want your card to look. So you got to kind of visualize what the outcome of the card would be. Not that you can't change anything and switch stuff around, but you got to kind of know what you're looking to see. So What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a pattern to this particular piece right here, and it's ungrouped from these other two pieces, which is great. So what I would do is go right up here, and I'm going to open up my patterns window. It's this window right here, and once I click that, it's going to bring up all my different patterns. And as you can see, I can click on any pattern within the basic options, as well as any patterns that are in my options in order to make the card background out of. And I have a bunch of different patterns. These are all the ones that I've purchased off of Silhouette. And so the one that I used for the card that I shared with you guys is a gingham gray pattern, which is this one right here. And I just thought that was really nice. So that is that. And what I can do is I can actually move that over to my mat. So that is my bottom layer. Now remember that this is the bottom portion. You see these lines right here? I do need to add those lines back. So let me go back, click undo, click undo, click undo, click undo, 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 undo. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to actually group just those pieces together. I don't want to group all the pieces, which is trying to do now. But I want to group all of these pieces back together. So I'm just going to click on, drag around all of them and click Command G because I am working on a Mac, or you can go right up top and you can click group. So now they're all grouped together because I want to keep my dash lines. Now, if you don't want those dash lines and you want to be able to fold your own card the way you want to, then you can actually leave those dash lines out and delete those as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it with the pattern again, which is the gingham pattern. And so now my pattern is filled. So the next thing that I'm going to do, or my next layer, is going to be this layer right here. It's the larger scallop layer. And so for that layer, I believe that layer was like a teal kind of color with polka dots in it. So I think it was this pattern right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it with that pattern, and then I'm just going to bring it right on top, and I'm going to set it where it needs to go. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it actually. So I'm just going to set it right down. And what you can do is you can click on this one and also click on, hold down shift and click your main image as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right up here and I'm going to align those to the center. So now I just made sure that they were just aligned to the center. So then that's that. So now my next piece is this piece right here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that piece, and I'm going to also fill that piece with an image. And so I'm going to go right back up here to my fill pattern window, and I'm going to find that pattern that I used, and it's not the butterflies, it's a floral pattern. Now, one thing that I do wish is that once you click or hover on top of your patterns, that it would make it really large so that you can see the actual pattern. Because to me, these little icons over here are kind of small. But this is the pattern that I used right here. So I'm just going to put that on top. And as you guys can see, I can't put this pattern on top of that one. So what I need to do is I need to bring it forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right up top to Object. And I'm going to go to Arrange. And I'm going to say bring to the front, okay? And so once I did that, now I'm able to actually stack that on top where I need to stack it. And again, I'm just kind of eyeballing it and putting it in place, and then that's that. So you can just take this and you can actually type whatever words you want to type by clicking this button right here. And just typing, right now I'm just going to type hello. And so once I have that, what I can do is I can fill it. And I mostly use black as my fill. And I would go here to the line color window, and I would change my line color to black as well. So now everything is black. If you want that to be different from just your basic, black letters like this, you can make them cursive. You can use any of your fonts. You just go right up here to the fonts window, open that up, and then you can select from any of the fonts that are on your computer, and you can change those around. So actually, you can use this one if you want, and this, could be your card. And that actually makes a really pretty card as well. You can also change it The one that I used was, I think it's called Aubrey, and that's this one here. And so this is the one that I use, and just take it off so that you guys can see it. So that is what I used. The other thing that I used was an actual image that's inside of my library, and it is a tilde image that I got offline. And it's this one here. So I just double click on that and brought it in, and it comes in really tiny because, like I said, I found it online. So I can make it bigger than that. And what I did for mine was I wanted this to have a background instead of it just sitting on top just like that. And it can do that, but you can actually put a background on that. You would go right over here to the left side where it says draw a rectangle, and you would draw yourself just a rectangle. Click back on your arrow, and now this becomes a shape. And so what I can do is I can fill that. So the first thing I'm going to do is fill that with white. Once it's filled with white, I'm going to just put my tilde image on top, object, arrange, bring to front. Okay, it didn't work that time. Let me go back, object, arrange, bring to front. And sometimes it doesn't always work the first time that you try it. Object, arrange, bring to front. And I think it's because it's trying to go through all of these layers here as well. So I'm just gonna, actually what I'm gonna do is I'll do the white part. So I'll click on the white and object, arrange, and send to back. And so now it's behind my image. So I just want to make this square behind my image a little bit bigger so that it can kind of frame out my image. And I kind of want it even on all sides, so I'm just going to mess with it until it is kind of even. And again, I'm just going to go by eye with this. I'm not doing any measurements or anything like that. And once I have it the way I want it, I'm going to group it all together, and I'm going to go to object and group. And so now it's grouped together as one image. So I can put that on top just like that. And then what I did was I added one more layer to that, and it is a gray layer. So I'm going to go back to draw a rectangle. I'm going to draw myself a rectangle, and I'm going to go back to the arrow. Once I get the rectangle that I need, I'm going to fill that with a color. But this time, because I want the background color of this image to be this rectangle, so I can kind of pull that background, I'm going to go to this color picker tool right here, click on that, and I'm just going to pick the color from the background back here. And as you can see, the color is actually changing depending on where it is in my picture. So once I click on it, it actually becomes the color of the picture. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to send that object back because I need it to be behind the white. So I'm going to go to arrange and send backward and arrange. I don't know why my send backwards is not working, but I'll put this on top and I'll say bring this to the front. So just make this a little larger so I won't lose it once I bring it to the front. And I'm going to just arrange this and say bring to front. Object, arrange. Yeah, I don't know why it's acting up, but yeah, I'm not sure why that's acting up. But normally what you would do is just click on this and then hit object, arrange, and you would send it backwards so that it can be behind this layer. But for some reason, it will not go backwards for me, which is very strange. and it won't do it. So I'll leave that layer off for now, and I'll just put this layer where I need it to go. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it again and putting it where I need it to go, and you can make this larger or smaller depending on what you want your card to look like. And I'm just kind of putting it in the middle. And then the last thing that you would do is you would just put your sentiment wherever you want your sentiment to go. I'm going to go bring that to the front. And now it's on the front. And I can just put that wherever I need that to go. Shrink it and make it the size that I need it to be. And that's about it. So the next thing that I would do is I would make sure that all of my cut marks that I don't want to cut are off. So I would just select each one of these and I would go to my cut style window and I would say no cut, because we don't want any of these things in the inside to cut. All of that is just going to be printed. So I just click on each one of these and turn off the cut lines for it. And what I'm looking at now is that this line right here, my scoring line, is a little bit too close to the edge of this. So I'm just going to bring all of these down a little bit so that they won't be so close to my cut lines. But those lines, I do want them to stay. Now, if you wanted these to be turned off as well, you can actually turn those off by just selecting each one of those and turn them off, or either grouping them all together and turning those off as well. That way you can just manually score them. Once I close this cut style window, those little lines are going to kind of fade out a little bit. But what I want to do is I want to actually bring this portion down some so that it's not so close to my scoring line. And then just bring this one down. Bring this one down. And bring this one down. Actually like it right up there. So just shrink that down. And that is about it. And if you want to put a bow on there, you can put a bow on here. You know, you can make it however you want to make it. Just make sure that it is the way that you want it before you send it to your printer. And once you send it to your printer, it's going to print with the registration marks on it, as well as it's going to have the registration marks as well as the everything that you see on the screen. The only thing that it's not going to have are the actual cut marks. And then once you send it to your cameo or your portrait, whatever kind of silhouette machine you have, then it will actually cut the perimeters out as well as the scoring lines if you kept those scoring lines. So that's about it, guys. So if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below, and I'll get back with you as soon as I possibly can. Take care, guys. Bye.